though. It is 12:21 a.m. Alright. Well, welcome to the stream, Fish Dude. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you showing up. Today we got a little bit of lag. I'm not entirely sure why, but hopefully it will sort itself out. Seems to be whenever I look at the shuttle with all the packages on it that it's got lag. Must be something to do with that 12:22 now. Oh, come on. Alright, stop being pedantic. But for real, though. If you need to go get some sleep, you can go get some sleep. I appreciate you showing up, man. Ah, no. Oh, I keep dropping it. Ah. No, no sleep. Well, you know what they say, no rest for the wicked. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. And yoink. Yeah, I haven't done any Novus project stuff in a while. I want to get to doing some work on that. Cause we've been falling behind on the Novus project a little bit. Haven't had time to stream a whole ton. Hey, it does work. I wasn't sure if it was gonna work or not, but I appreciate you doing that, man. I was gonna test out to see if it did work, but then I forgot to. Cause I wanted to test it out while I was offline, and it said, "Oh, you need to be in a live stream to test this thing out." I'm like, "Oh, come on." So. I can't hear that at all. Hold on. I couldn't hear that at all. That's probably just blurp being blurp. Let's see. Properties. Take off the audio control. Turn the audio control back on. Grayed out. I'm gonna go onto Blurp and log in on their website. Cause that's what I had to do for the fill my screen with the emotes. So it's probably just a Blurp thing. Let's log in. Let's try this. Hello. Hey, James. Oh, for the love of Pete. It was going good until you walked on. We're trying to figure out why Blurp's not really working. Oh. Turn off channel points, turn them back on. Now it's gonna say everything is new.
Hello there.
I heard something. Why can't I touch the volume? No. That would be incorrect. Only the specific word that you typed is banned. Think otherwise, you need to learn how grammar works. Oh yeah, James always wakes up and chooses violence. Let's see what we got. But James has been trying to exploit the system for pretty much ever since he tuned in. Which, I mean, admire the dedication. Why is Blurp not wanting to work? Come on, dude.
So you smart, huh?
You know,
That worked.
I thought your head would be bigger.
I heard that. Try this one.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Oh, it seems to work now. Cool. Can't break the system. It's annoying. Well, see, that's the funny thing. Once you get a system, and once somebody breaks it, then you make it so it's unbreakable. Yeah, it's working. Cool. So yeah, you set up the system so that it's unbreakable, so it can't be exploited. Which actually means, and thank you for pointing it out, means that and is are actually clear, because they are not what you listed as banned words. So, also yes, this is an AMA stream. Good new news there. That because you kept on doing it every single darn time. If you want to have not like ban specific words, try using variety. Try using imagination. Because at some point it just becomes annoying when you just do the same thing 15 times in a row. It's no fun for anybody except you. Get her Dixper crate free? Alright, cool. Give me a second. I did add a new Dixper crate. It allows people... thanks for the applause, I appreciate it. However, I'm gonna just take care of this Dixper crate real fast. Dixper. I have too many programs running. Okay. What we got going on? Great. And yes, I do apologize I have not been able to stream recently, that much. Do hope that we'll be able to change that. There is the crate for you. Have the crate now, my friend. Doesn't that make you feel great? See what I did there? But look, if you want specific words to not be banned from the banned words, then try using variety. Hey, finished. Believes the voice mod is not working. Ah, of course it's an awful pun. And also you're a bit late trying to get me to use the banned word. Voice mod should be working though. Voice mod's a Dixper thing. Voice mod's not a channel points thing, it's a Dixper thing. And Dixper should be working. Check. Let me check. Let's test this out. My voice should be evil now.
Yeah. I don't know, you guys tell me if it's working. Because I was a bit delayed, yeah. I think it's working. I mean, you tell me if it's working or not. Does my voice sound normal?
Does my voice sound demonic? It is working? Cool. My plan has succeeded. Just kidding, I don't really have a plan. But yeah, James, happy International Men's Day, my friend. The holiday I found out about fairly recently. Kinda neat. See the flames and your voice is just better. I like that my voice is just better being evil. Man, should I embrace that or should I reject that? Not sure which one I should do. Embrace the evil or try to be good? Broken either way. I'm confused. Like, you tell me things are broken, I'm gonna try to fix them. Alright, are we using the correct amount of power? Yeah, we are. So this dynamite I was gonna take over to Novus and use it, but makes it kind of difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna run this over, and I'll be right back with some to grab some stuff. I'm just glad that the fill up screen emote's working, because I was not sure if I was ever gonna get that thing working. Hey, look, Novus looks like it's missing a huge old chunk out of it. I wonder how that happened. Weird. Gotta go? Hey, no problem, dude. Thanks a bunch for stopping in. Appreciate you, man. It's always good to have you back. Yeah, look at that. That's a nice little picture of a crater right there. I kind of wonder if that's in the air now. Using the shuttle instead of the rover for change? Hey. Shuttle hauls things, you know? Rover's kind of just more for fun. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Frames, oh god, oh god. Oh god, oh my gosh, what is this? Oh, ah. Got a couple of lag issues over here on this base. Why, I have no idea. We haven't made any bombs. That's a bit of a problem. Let's go make some bombs. Just a bit of lag. Yeah, we had some issues with some frames right there. Where's my other... I have another proximity repeater. Where is it? Hello? Proximity repeater. I'm gonna... I bet there's one on Glacio. I'm gonna go... I think I might go grab it. The lag's mostly on now, so it seemed to have been just a loading in thing. So, by all rights, there should be another proximity repeater somewhere around here in the proximity, I guess. But I don't see anything around here. Alright, I'm gonna run over to Glacio, grab some proximity repeaters, and head back. I think I'm gonna grab 3, just because I was using some over there for research samples that I picked up. Center. And that's my titanium farm. Alright. Yeah, I don't know, James, if you remember the last time, but I got the rover into the Novus project, and it did not end very well. The rover had a really hard time getting back out. Mostly because the rover doesn't handle gravity wells especially well. Also, look, I have 1,000,000 QTRTGs now. These things come through the, I just have so many event points. Just come through the event so well. Alright, where's my proximity repeaters that I have? Alright, where are we at? Where are we at? I saw you just before we left. Just before I started the stream, I was like, okay, there's my proximity repeaters. And now I don't remember where they are. They're somewhere over here. Don't give any of them up, of course not. But now I don't have to worry so much if I do happen to lose some on a body. Which is pretty much the entire point. I know they're here somewhere. Where are they? Here's the problem. I'm just bad at finding things in general. And so the fact that I haven't really organized this whole thing is making the base is kind of a mess as a result. It's kind of not good. Well, I have this setup. I'm not gonna cannibalize one setup for another. Yeah, whatever. You know what? I'm just gonna make some more proximity repeaters. You can't stop me. You know, I'm just gonna do that. Give me some zinc. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're looking for proximity repeater. Oh, proximity repeater. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Alright, we got the repeaters. Such a waste of my infinite materials. I know, right? Such a waste. I'm wondering if... Oh, I'm out of fuel. Come on. Alright, we're gonna run with that for now. I'm wondering if I need to take like a bit of titanium with me. I might regret. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go try to grab. I'll grab at least one. How's that sound? We'll grab one. Okay, you're titanium. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna bring you over. Alright. At least we brought some titanium back. It should be this. I think we will end up needing it, so I think it was probably a good call to bring it, but I don't know, honestly. Liking this new music though. New music is pretty rad. Alright, there's Visania. Where's Novus? Why is it that Novus is so hard to find? I haven't even destroyed half of Novus yet, and I already have a hard time finding it. Because it was hiding? It was hiding. It was hiding. It was hiding behind Visania. Yeah, here we are. Novus was hiding. It's just like, you know, I don't want to be destroyed today. Well, too bad. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely a good call to bring the titanium. I might actually end up needing more. Oh well, we'll start with this. Those are extras. We don't want to use those. They'll just screw up the count. Pop them over there for now. Alright, take this, start printing out silos. You guys start printing out platforms. take some of that stuff back in. All right. Now we've got all of the. Why'd you decide on Novus over to Solo? Just because of the hydrogen? I decided on Novus over to Solo because I have resource farms on DeSolo and I don't have resource farms on Novus. Pretty much, it's as simple as that. Because on DeSolo has something actually useful like tungsten. Novus has nothing useful on it. Nothing useful that can be got on other planets, to clarify. So, yeah. Pardon me, sorry. Sorry about that. My sneezes seem to come in pairs for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but they do. I forgot that I didn't have the, forgot that I had some scrap that I had to finish unloading. You. Pop you in there. Leave 2 prox repeaters here, out of range of each other. Gonna go take the other one over there. It'll be a second until some stuff is ready. We're gonna take this one, plop it down here. This is a really, really excellent little platform. It automates unpacking all of these things onto the silos, which is absolutely an amazing, amazing thing. Yeah, the hydrogen I actually found out was a complete. It was completely. It wasn't on. I wasn't expecting that. I honestly thought about what I was going to use to blow it up after I had decided to blow up the planet, which is probably not the smartest thing in the world to do. That's what I did. So then I thought, well, let's use hydrogen instead of dynamite, because hydrogen's a lot less expensive. Well, where's a good source of hydrogen? I looked it up. Oh, wait a second. Vistania, the next planet over, literally has the best hydrogen in the entire solar system. Not handy. It's almost like the universe wanted me to destroy Novus or something. It's just got the universal stamp of approval, you know? Stumbled into that? Yeah, indeed I did. Indeed I did. Alright, we got 2. Let's start with this one. Oh. Over here. Oh, right, I need to start this thing up. Go. Alright, starting with the first silo. See, the nice thing is I just put it over here and it unpacks by itself. Although this entire platform should scoot over. Yeah, I used to have to be really painstaking about where I put everything. Not anymore. It automatically unpacks for me. All I have to make sure is that we don't have any weird silos on one slot, and bang, they all get unpacked at once. Makes life way easier. And silo. And a silo. Not that. No. There we go. Yeah, I can place these however I want as long as each one has enough room to unpack. We are golden. Well, it doesn't matter too much where you place them. And I'm not sure, but I think we might possibly be able to automate this with auto arms, but really not very consequential. So these platform type Cs, they finally have a really good use. No more holding F for me. these are enough medium storage silos for 2 bombs. Should be all good to go. Everything's all placed down. Oh, that we got 2 more, so we've got brings us to a total of 4 platforms. We're gonna need 8 this round. So we're gonna need 2 more after this. So we'll try to keep an eye on that. I don't want to end up with too many platforms, because that would kind of suck. I mean, first world problem, but... Alright, cool. Let's leave that filling up. Makes it a lot easier to just plop stuff onto this thing. And, okay. But yeah. Anyway, I thought it was kind of cool that today's actually International Men's Day, which I thought was kind of an interesting little holiday. Kind of nice to celebrate people for, you know, just who they are and what they bring to the table. Ay. Many platforms, just toss them into the project where I guarantee they'll not cause any lag. I'm sure they won't cause any lag whatsoever, because how could they do that? There's no way they could cause more lag. It's not like we have a large source of lag on this planet or anything. Yeah, too many platforms? Let's make more. We need more platform. Clearly. Obviously what we need. Man, that automation to unpacking, so nice. Like, I mean, James, I'm sure you were there. I'm sure you know how much I was complaining about how I had to unpack every single little tiny bit of thing, and I was wishing they would automate unpackaging, and I guess the devs heard me for once. Is actually kind of cool. I know this feature was released like months ago, but I still love it. It's a bit dangerous near TNT, but you know, what feature doesn't have its downsides? And it's something that's simple too. It doesn't cause a whole lot of lag either, which is kind of important on this project. Stop it. There we go. Yeah, I don't need to be careful about which way I put every single little piece now, because it just automatically does it for me. I wish it would unpack this in your hand, although I understand why it doesn't. I think that was before you followed. I'm pretty sure you were there. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you were there. Although I honestly don't know. Very, very well could be wrong. Although you followed with the dev raid, and much appreciated for you sticking around. Good to. Oh, I did actually grab something. Nice. Thought I grabbed a printer accidentally. But much appreciated for you sticking around. I do appreciate that a lot. I don't remember when the dev raid was exactly, but I remember it was awesome. Actually, I'm not sure if I have it set up right, but you might be able to use the command followage to show. I know this one's full. I don't know about the other one. We need to definitely get rid of that. I think that's actually too many platforms. Can I cancel you? Of course you just dump the resin on the ground, because why would you? Platform type C. Cancel. Uh-oh. Alright, take this iron, put it back in here. Take this resin, put it back in here. There we go, there's that other iron. Take that iron. Alright, repeat, enter. There we go. Yeah, that'll do the trick. Enough for this round of Nova's project. Wasn't it on my birthday? I think it might have been the birthday stream. I think that does ring a bell. You might be correct there. Okay. How much have you got going? Oh, you have some stuff missing. Some serious stuff missing. And it really kind of just sucks how much titanium this stuff uses. It just uses up a nuts amount of titanium every single round. While that's printing, I'm gonna go get this started on reading. Steel. We're getting kind of low on steel. Should have enough for this next round. That'll probably be all she wrote. Apparently since September 10th, so you joined about 5 days before the repeaters were implemented. Yeah. I think actually it was that stream that I was complaining of. Didn't mean to do that. I think it was actually that stream I was complaining about the repeater, the need for automating packaging, because I remember it was like, I remember it was literally like days before the update dropped, and I was complaining about that. And then the update dropped, and I didn't realize it. Then a couple of days after the update dropped, I was like, wait a second, I can automate packaging. This is the best update ever. I mean, it could have been that. I honestly don't remember. But it is something I remember I was literally complaining about right before the update dropped. I already unpackaged this like a silly boy. We're just gonna put stuff on there. Willy-nilly. Can. Let's decide. Nope. Nope. There you go. Yeah, I appreciate you sticking around and completely breaking my my word band system, making me get it together. I will say, props, dude. You're really brutal on that stuff. I gotta give respect where it's due, you know. Kinda sucks for me, but, you know, I know that's what makes the stream entertaining, is when it sucks for me. People who don't realize that shouldn't be streaming. This is like the copyright song that the copyright-free song that everyone's ever used on a YouTube video. Let's pop you on there. Wait for the unpackaging animation to finish. Balancing on an ammonium. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Nice. There we go. Alright, let's take this off the top. Go on that side and get this side. Nope. Misclick like a dum-dum, and then we're gonna get it. Alright, there we go. Up, and that's another bomb done. That is 3 bombs down. You know, even though the material cost is high, it is something I can deal with, and I feel like this kind of offsets the huge setback that was that one hotfix. The huge setback that made me have to do all this in the first place. That one hotfix completely changed the course of the Novus project. Almost canceled it. I almost didn't want to do it after all that. But I've so far been able to stick with it. So far I haven't murdered anybody. Just destroyed most of the planet. Actually, not most of the planet, that's not a true statement. Crap. There we go. No, not on there. Grab you. No, let's grab you. Alright, spin you around. You have to lurk for about an hour. You have something scheduled, unfortunately, but hopefully you'll be able to come back in about an hour. Alright, that sounds good, my friend. I appreciate the lurk. I hope you have fun with whatever you have scheduled. I'll see you in a bit. I should be here. About an hour we should be getting to the detonation, so once you get back, we'll get the detonations going. And yeah, if nobody else shows up during that hour, which is honestly kind of likely, I'll just hold off on the detonations till you show up. Don't want to leave the most exciting part of the stream without anybody there to appreciate the fireworks. The heck are they using a phone tune, a phone dial-up tone in their song for? Kind of a voice is that? Kind of like the dubstep's obsession with robotic voices and pseudo-scientific babble. Just kind of weird. Just kind of weird, man. I don't think that Carl Sagan ever thought that the talks that he gave would be used in dubstep recordings, twisted all around to try to make a song out of a speech. Just makes no sense. I think it would actually be kind of cool. Random side thought. I think it would be kind of cool if the proximity repeaters could trigger your jetpack. That could be kind of a fun game mechanic. I can see how that would very quickly get annoying though, so I'm not gonna like advocate for it too hard or nothing. Oh, we need more steel. Oh, great. Oh, this project is an endless suck on resources. Which is good. I kind of needed an endless suck on resources with all the resources that I've got lying around. But man, is it a big suck. Like, it really sucks. And grab. I got it. Oh yeah, I dropped it. And grab. Grab. Alright. That is halfway through. Bomb number 4Z. Nice, it works. Alright, let's get you started on here. Let's take this off so we can at least have some, we can have something sitting there. Why are you rolling all over the place? Stay there. That should be all of the stuff needed for the next, the Novus project. 525. I honestly don't know if that's gonna be enough for another entire silo. I don't think so. Okay. This is a really, these things are really handy, I will say. Okay, nearly done with that, so I'm gonna get a platform going. Yeah, we got 4 more bombs to go. Alright, let's grab... This is not nearly as close to being done as I thought, but it's decently close. Let's get this in on here. You can probably get started anyway. Not a big deal. Grab all the stuff that we can. I am seriously wondering if I can maybe possibly automate the thing. I don't know if the auto arms are gonna want to put them on. The only way that I could think of to automate this thing reasonably would be to try to put like 12 auto arms around. So I'd put like one for each 2 slots. So hopefully we can just get all 12 put on at once and not worry about particular things. I really don't know though how well that would work. Let's grab guys. There's a couple of nice and fun tall towers there. Grab some the outliers though. I'd have to test and see if that's possible. I honestly don't know if it is. Part of me thinks that the auto arms are not going to really concern themselves with any of that. They're just gonna do what they want to do and then do it, not worry about anything else, which would kind of suck. I think they would honestly probably end up screwing it up, but I'd have to see. We'd have to make sure that we got a platform, make sure it's snapped on in place. I don't really have any way to move these around reliably though. So I'd have to make sure that the auto arms like don't get enabled till this like put on the platform. Hold on, I'm gonna take a break and test something real fast. I need to take these guys back to Glacio anyway, so I'm gonna go grab that. We need to take these back to Glacio, so I'm gonna see what we've got running here. I wonder if I have like a platform type C and I put a storage sensor on it. If I put an empty silo on top of that platform, will it count towards filling the storage of the platform? Or will I have to come up with a different solution? I'm gonna try to check with the base. I know we've got a couple of storage sensors lying around. If we don't, we can always make more. Alright, there's those. So, we need storage sensors. At least one. Alright. I don't really see. I'm just gonna print one more. Let me make sure. Does it take zinc? Alright, whoops, storage sensor. Quartz and zinc. Okay, that's not bad. I've seen waste, in the words of Bugs Bunny. I also don't have a ton of quartz lying around. I don't really use quartz all that much, so I don't stockpile it. Probably should. I typically do leave it lying around here if I have extra. Okay, I do not appear to have extras lying around. I think I can probably make it work if I can think about it, because I can probably do like full empty or not empty type thing. Alright, we're gonna do quartz. Just gonna run a single batch. Probably do that. These things take forever now. Now they're just spinning pointlessly. There's not even centrifuging anything. This is just added time. Oh, no. Need to disable the silly output. Where did the other one go? Did it get stuck? It did get stuck. There we go. Now it's off. Alright, we've got a little bit of quartz. Run this quartz over here. Grab a slice. Alright, let's print this guy up. Right here. Yeah. Storage sensor. Now I need a... Get out of here. I need a platform type A. So, platform type A... I don't... Let's see. Large platform A. Resin. Relatively simple. 1, 2. There we go. Print that up. I'm gonna just hook it up to probably the graphite thing or something. We're gonna see if this... I want to see if this counts as full. It should count as at least not empty. Because the idea is I want to have this put on and then have the auto arms activate. I don't want them activating on just some random whim. Alright, let's hook this guy. Why do I have these? Oh. Because it's been handing me these. Oh. Heavens. Okay. Take those sitting down there. Stop it! Those sitting down there. Alright, I'm gonna plop you on here. I'm gonna hook you over there. That's on empty or full right now. Full or empty. Does not do anything. Empty or not empty. Still does not do anything. That really sucks. Now it triggers. Now it triggers again. That's not right though. That sucks. I'll have no way to really sense if this platform's on here, right? Because if I look into this category, look into the sensors, power sensor, storage sensor, battery sensor. None of those things really say. Repeater. Yeah, I don't really know how to... I don't know how to get it going. Educational, for sure. Disappointing, also for sure. Alright, we're gonna need to grab some steel next time. But for now, let's head back over Novus. And Novus is right here. Very handy. Man, this looks so nice. Alright. I don't really think there's a way to get it to do anything. I'm gonna have to rethink that. I might have to just trigger it manually. Which I guess would be not terrible. Would still be better than what I have right now. Might just do it manually triggered. And then I'll have to have them like turn off after a certain delay. So all I have to do is trigger them once. Then I can just set up a delay gate to send another pulse. That's actually not a bad idea. Might give that a shot. Alright, here's the 5th bomb. Okay, so we can probably just get this thing running. Yeah, I don't want to get it running now. I'll get it running probably off stream, and then get the logic figured out, because people do not appear to be interested in watching logic get figured out. Does not make for the most interesting content in the world. I can totally sympathize with. Much more fun to watch somebody blow up a planet than to watch somebody optimize their base. Satisfying as it is to optimize your base and optimize your ways of doing things, just doesn't make for good content. Alright, there we go. Go grab you. I don't know if the auto arms are gonna just try to pick their own slots, or if they're gonna all go on the same slots, though. That would be kind of difficult to control. I can't really think of, off the top of my head, a way that I could really ensure that something like that would happen, other than possibly just trying to brute force it, and just trying to have the auto armors be at different heights. But even then, I'm still kind of dubious on how well that would work. Doesn't seem to me like it's terribly easy to make sure that it succeeds. Then again, I did think the same thing of refueling depots, and now I have 2 of them. That worked just great. So, I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past. Multiple times. I'll have to give it a shot off stream. Alright, we're gonna take these 6 off this top here. And nope, you. There we go. So I'll just have to allow the auto arms to either I'll have to allow them time to grab their load and then transfer it, or I'll have to just make sure they turn off after grabbing the load. I'm gonna have to time that interestingly. Right now, I think I'm gonna go with a manual trigger, but I only want to have to press a button once. I don't want to have to press a button multiple times to turn it on, turn it off. Like, nah, I'm not into that. At this point, I can afford to make it user-friendly enough where I don't have to press a whole bunch of buttons. I only need it to do one function after all. Oh boy. boy, we got this debris all over the place. It's almost like it's debris or something. It's trashing up the base. Because I unpacked a whole bunch of debris all at once, and then suddenly we ended up with a whole big explosion of debris. I know, big shocker, we had a big old explosion of debris, and now the debris went everywhere. Surprise, surprise. Hey, works. Cleanup works, at least. And I know what not to do now. Alright, grab you. Place you. Gonna sit up in the air, and I'm not gonna let that happen. Let that sit on the ground instead. And come right here. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, we don't have quite enough titanium for the next round. That is all good. We're not have, like, even close to enough titanium. But that's okay. Have enough for this round. That is all that's important. Actually, let's have enough to get started right now, so get started. Minimize large piles that tend to happen. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Go on the stupid platform. Or the platform may have a higher IQ, I just haven't seen it. Alright, let's go here. Oh, this is so dreary. That'll be all for that silo. And we're gonna grab as many silos from over here as we can. And place, and place, and place. Ace. And grab. And we're done with the printing. Fabulous. Alright, you can go back over here where you belong. I think bringing that one singular silo of titanium kind of evened us out. So hopefully we shouldn't have to change the titanium mid-round in future. Alright, then after this, we're gonna start our detonation, we're gonna start the transfer over of resources from the Visania base. We're gonna take hydrogen and start transferring it over. Alright, grab. No. There we go. Alright, so if we grab you over here, put you a little closer to us. There we go. No, there we go. And grab you. Grab you. Grab you. Alright, let's grab this second to last silo. And nope. Grab all these silos down here. These two out here. And it should work out nice and neatly. I love it when a plan works. Not only works, but works neatly. Alright, there we go. Last silo. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check the music. Music is decent. Let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet. We should be running on okay territory, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you think of the music. If it's too loud, too quiet, can you hear the music at all? You'll be able to hear the music. So let me know what you think. You know, ever since I stopped using, so I used to be a big ol' fan. Wait a second. Oh boy. I used to be a big old fan of using Twitch's, tool soundtrack. And yet, soundtrack has resulted in a whole bunch of copyright claims on my videos when I upload them to YouTube. And in some cases, the videos being entirely blocked. Not something I'm a fan of. Alright, let's shut you down. There we go. Alright, we have the entire detonation round. let's go check on the crater. See how the crater is doing today. Oh, hello. Random piece of debris. Put you in the shredder. Whee! Air is looking pretty clean in the crater today. Crater itself could be a little bit cleaner. Not bad though. Not bad at all. Alright, let's head back out. Uh oh. Run. Oh, come on. Getting hung up on random things. And up we go. Gonna take a lot of fuel. I don't know if we have enough fuel in this jetpack to get up there. Should, ideally. I think we'll end up being kind of low. I should have left a right click on something. Just as a nice backup. I think we'll be okay though. Yeah, we're good. Oh, definitely really good. Oh, hello. Loading in issues. There we go. Let's use up this last little bit in the singular jetpack right here. There we go. Ow. And we're gonna fill up on fuel. Why do I have a medium gas canister here? I know why, because my silly auto arms didn't stop handing me things. But that's beside the point. Let's go grab some hydrogen, shall we? Officially started the loading phase. Let's update the title. Alright, now, Octavistania. And honestly, as far as like the gas and stuff that we need, it really does not make a gigantic difference which planet you're going to, because the fuel usage is the same. If the fuel usage changed with how far the planet was, that would be very different and actually kind of a cool mechanic. I can understand why they chose not to implement it, but it still would be a cool mechanic. Because the Astroneer devs, they want it to be reliable as far as you know exactly how far you can go. But, you know, that's also not really the point of space games. The point is the exploration. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see what happens. Launch this and see if anything cool happens. No. Oh boy. I'm gonna land before I can get into this big old crevice. Or into the big old bubble where I have to wait. And here we are. And here we are. grab you, and I'm gonna grab you. There we go. Which went decently smoothly. I almost bumped it, but worked. Ended up working out just good. Just great. Nice. We got this guy. Plop him on the platform. Back there. This. You guys back on. Enter and lounge. And there we go. Then yeah. And landed nicely. Should be able to refuel right here. Have indeed refuel. And grab, which nice. Get in, launch. Man, these refueling stations are so freaking nice. It's amazing. I have to refuel them once every century or so. Once we're done, once the century is up, then we refuel, then we head back, and it just takes care of the fueling for the next century. Real easy, real smooth, real amazing. Alright. Wait, no, no, no. Stop it! Stop it! Super difficult to grab these stupid things once they fall over. Because the game's like, oh, I'm sure you want to grab something on the silo. I'm sure you don't want to grab the actual silo. Like, no, I want to grab the stupid silo. But no, the game's like, no, I'm sure you want to grab something other than the silo. You can't want to grab the silo. That would be just weird. Why would you want to grab the silo that's falling over? Oh, high transfer rates are so good. And that is bomb number 1 of 8 complete. And yoink. And yoink. This shouldn't fill up both, but it'll at least fill up one. And I think that's everything. Alright, I'm gonna put you over here, put you in the middle. It's not done. Use you. Place you guys on there and leave. And Senya. go. Here we are. Alright, let's put this... Oh, hello. Take you, place you on there. Take you, place you on there. Actually, I'm gonna change this music while we're flying away. That works. Novus. Oh, come on. On the wrong side of the planet. And loading in lag. And off we land. And grab. And grab. Alright, we're gonna have to do a switcheroo here. There we go. That was nice and smooth. That was well done. Even if I do say so myself. Went nice and smoothly. Cool, let's go. Let's go with that. That is bomb number 2 completed. Get bomb number 3 moving and underway here. Use. And that's everything, pretty much. I really didn't need this other one. This other one's kind of empty still, so we're just gonna leave this one sitting here. And launch. We're gonna pick up some fuel when we land on Visania, and we should be good to go. And at the base. There we go. And we'll get all fueled up. Right, the instant we land. Grab, switch, place, grab, switch, place. Enter, launch. Very simple. Very, very, very simple. You know, I've gotten so used to this Novus that's like significantly destroyed that I see somebody else's Novus and I go like, wait, where's the crater? Kind of funny because I honestly have not really seen a Novus without the crater for a while. So I see somebody else's Novus on their stream and I'm like, wait a second, what happened to the crater? Like, no, brain. No. Your crater is not everyone has your crater. Just because you love blowing up planets doesn't mean that everybody else can blow up planets. Alright. This one's gonna be nice and even. We are gonna do a switch out. There we go. Nope. Go. This should finish out nice and perfectly. The last one should go right there. There we go. Finished out just perfectly. Maple. Let's go. Grab some more fuel. Oh, sorry, grab some more hydrogen. I mean, technically, hydrogen could be considered a fuel. And if only the world had this efficient hydrogen consumption and storage, we would be able to do a lot more with electric vehicles and all that. Because then we could have hydrogen fuel cell powered vehicles. Actually, that would be really a cool idea to add to the game. A hydrogen fuel cell that will consume hydrogen, give hydrogen a use, and provide a whole ton of power. And then you can have, like, vehicles that run on hydrogen. Have, like, a hydrogen-based electricity generator or something that's kind of built in. Or something that you can, like, include. I think that would be really actually quite cool. That's an interesting idea. I'm gonna have to make sure to suggest that whenever I should happen to see one of the devs. Because we already have hydrogen in the game, and hydrogen fuel cells are definitely a cool and realistic thing. They could be another fun source of power, and maybe another excuse to use, like, the gases. Right now, the gases don't have a ton of usage. Oh, jeez. Let's let it load for a second. There we go. And I only have the one, so I'm just gonna load this one up. It shouldn't fill up too, shouldn't take too long to fill up. There we go. Now, as far as what we could do to, like, use up power, I don't know. I haven't thought of anything. But hydrogen-fueled rovers would be kind of a really cool idea. Because right now people just use the RTGs, and it could be like a good substitute for the RTGs. People who want a really steady source of power without it just feeling like magic. Honestly, the RTGs kind of feel like magic. Could be based on real-life hydrogen fuel cells, which I don't know how much they do. How much do hydrogen fuel cells? How much power do hydrogen fuel cells produce? Let's see. Each liter produces 125 grams of hydrogen. Let's see. Efficiencies of up to 60%. I don't know. Yeah, there's not really any, like, numbers on, oh hey, a hydrogen fuel cell of this size will produce this much. I still think it would be really cool to have hydrogen fuel cells in the game. I say this not having any clue. Wait a second. No. Oh, balls. Alright, I'm taking you and I'm putting you output. And I'll put everything back onto this guy. You're not gonna complain about it. Alright, you're done? Good. What could we like use power on? Now, with how big of a sink it is to get hydrogen, like with how much power those things take, would it make sense to have a hydrogen-based, like, have something collecting hydrogen and then just have it powering a whole bunch of fuel cells? All depend on how efficient they were, what kind of storage we could put them on, like what kind of size they would be. I would propose like a small fuel cell, and then like a medium fuel cell, similar to the, I guess similar to the small wind turbine and the medium wind turbine. And maybe you could even make like a large fuel cell or something, the people that want the bonkers ones. But it would be nice to get something like that that's all balanced. Since it takes 20 units of power, we need to get about 20 units of power. Ideally, we could get like 23 or 24 units of power out of like a hydrogen thing. That would be really fast. That would be using it up really fast, though. Doesn't take 20 units of power to produce one, though. It just takes 20 units per second, which is very much different. So it takes more than a few seconds to produce a single hydrogen. It takes a fair while, actually. How long exactly, I do not know. There we go. So how much does each one of these cost to produce? So we could say that we've got, I don't know really how we would work it, but I don't know how we'd manage to balance that kind of thing. It'd be kind of interesting though. But thinking aloud, how long does it take a let's see, let's look it up. Atmospheric condenser take to fill a canister up. Alright, so how long will it take? Let's see. So if we... Okay, so it takes a lot more power. It's exponentially slower with a little lower concentration. I'm not sure. I'll probably look at it and see if I can time it. Wait, I accidentally forgot to grab a bomb. Could only fill up this one, partially. Alright, cool. That's got 6 left. Build it up halfway. Alright, let's head back. Pick up more fuel. See how we're going. Okay, Octavistania. Oh, this is the base. Nice. All of these are running at full power, right? Let me see. I'm gonna try to get a timer going. Let's try to get a stopwatch. Pull up a stopwatch. Stopwatch. Alright. I'm gonna wait until this one finishes. I'm gonna do that. Takes about 10 seconds. About 10 seconds to make a single. Which runs to about 50 seconds for one of these guys. So let's round it out to a minute. Let's round it out to about, well, okay, so 50 seconds times 20. So 50 times 20 is about 1,000 units of power. Wow. So each five thingy of hydrogen here, that takes 1,000 units of power to produce. That's kind of nuts, not gonna lie. Considering that I have infinite power, that's honestly not a huge deal, but it's kind of... wow. That's at full power. At partial power takes even longer. And at partial concentrations, that's gonna take way more. But that's full concentration, full power. So we would say that we probably want to optimize it to be power... probably want to say that it could be power positive at around 75. At around 75 parts per unit. Because I feel like that's kind of decent. So since at 100% takes, it's gonna take 33% more at 75%. 75% concentration. So, let's see. While this is going... Actually, let's do a switch out. Alright, how much do we got? So we got 1,000 units times 0.33, 330 plus 1,000. That's 1,330. Okay, basic maths. What? You needed 2 switcheroos. Come on. That's a bummer. Let's say it's power positive, so you would need to be able to get at least 1,330 units of power out of a single blob of hydrogen. Out of like a single 5 canister of hydrogen. Which means that let's say that we put it to running at, let's say we put it to running at 10 units per second for, say, a medium. 10 units per second. So 1330 divided by 10, 133 seconds divided by 60 equals it needs to at least run for 2.2 minutes on each. So if we have it run for 3 minutes times 60 times 10, 1,800 power. That's something I could see being decently balanced. Get a little bit more power out of it than you put into it. Maybe, I don't know. Have to see. Alright, let's see how things are going. So as far as those things, they need to last for probably about 3 minutes. So assuming that we put them on 10 units of power a second, then the hydrogen will need to last for about 3 minutes. Which isn't actually terrible. However, 10 units of power, that would have to be like a super cool, that would have to be like a medium. Let's say that the smaller one would cost, say the smaller one would do 2 units of power. So 1330 divided by 2, 665 divided by 60. Oh, that's times 60. So 1330 divided by 2 divided by 60 would need to last for at least 11 minutes. That's really long. So in order for this to be power positive, it would need to last for at least 11 minutes. That's actually an interesting idea. You could have it be something that lasts a really long time, has a low output but lasts a long time, and that's actually kind of what power cells are. Let's say a small power cell outputs 2 units a second. It would need to last at least about 12 minutes. So let's say 12 times 60 times 2. That's 1440 power. That actually works out pretty nicely. Yeah, if we had... Okay, so I'm gonna write this idea down before I forget. Alright, let's write this down. Actually, I'm gonna put it in a sticky note. Let me get sticky notes up and running. Sticky notes, sticky notes, sticky notes. Here we go. Alright, let's get display capture running. Alright. That was the event. Let's just do a new one. Alright. Astroneer Suggestions. Go fuel cells. Actually, let's go hydrogen fuel cells. Alright, we're gonna need to do tab. Whoops. Why can't I do tab on here? Maybe shift tab? Nope. Function tab? No. Control tab? Nope. Alright, we're just gonna do that. Okay, so it takes 1,000 units of power to produce a full 5x canister at 100 PPU and full power. Takes 1330 units to produce. Wait, we need to capitalize. Capitalization is important. Oh, Tic Tac is playing World of Tanks. Good for her. To produce a full 5x canister at full power and 75 PPU. Alright. So let's say proposed fuel cell output rates. To ensure net positive at 75 PPU. Medium fuel cell. Let's go. That was 10 units per second for 3 minutes. So 10 units per second times 60 seconds is 600 units a minute times 3 minutes is 1800 units. Let's go. So let's say assuming 1330 power to produce the fuel. Alright, actually, wait. So 10 minutes, so 10 units per second times 60 seconds equals 600 units per minute. Then times 3 minutes equals 1,800 units per canister. This would result in net gain minus 1330 of 470. And with 1,000, you're back. No, anyone else been chatting lately? Don't see any except Mild One. Think people would want to see you blow up Novus? I know, right? So, I actually have a new idea. and it's this hydrogen fuel cell idea. Because I was thinking, there's not really a huge use for hydrogen in the game. But, stop it. If we go with hydrogen fuel cells, I figured out that because it takes about 10 seconds to produce one singular little one blip. So each of these canisters has 5 blips on it, right? Takes about 10 seconds to produce one single blip, which is fair. So that means about 50 seconds for the whole thing. At 20 units per, that comes out to 20 units per second. That comes out to 1,000 power per hydrogen. That's how much power goes into each one of these things. So, based off of that calculation, let's say that we made a hydrogen fuel cell that produced power. There would need to be a medium and a smaller one, but the medium one would produce higher and use up faster, and then the smaller one would produce lower and use up slower. But because it takes 33% extra to make a battery of those things, well, see, hydrogen fuel cells, they're a very real thing, and they're actually possibly going to come to cars in the near future, which is actually a really interesting idea. I was reading about that earlier. So let's assume 75 parts per unit, because not every single planet's going to have 100. 75, a net power gain at 75, I think would be a decent compromise. So it would have to be, so the medium fuel cell, in order to get a net power, would have to produce 10 units per second for about 3 minutes. That would give us a total of 1,800 units to get out of a canister. So with 1330 power, that would result in a net gain of 470 power. With 1,000 power to produce, it would result in a net gain of 800 power. Now, the small fuel cell is where the things get slightly interesting, because the thing that hydrogen fuel cells do is they don't provide a lot of power, but they provide it over a really, really long time. That's not something that we have. It doesn't provide a lot of power, but it provides like a decent amount of power, but it provides it for a short time, right? Let's say we set the small fuel cell, which would be T1, D1. Let's call it a thingamajigger. Technical names, obviously. Would have to be 2 units per second. 2 units per second. And I believe I calculated 12 minutes. So that is something, it's a small output, but it's really, really long. And that could be really interesting to do. And if you make these things automatically pull, then you can have a really long fuel source that's not magical like RTGs, because the problem that everybody has with RTGs is that they're magical. These require fuel production, but you could set up a self-sufficient fuel production on a couple of different planets. And I think that would be really cool. So 2 units per second for 12 minutes would result in let's see. So 12 units per second. 12 U per second times 60 seconds. Sorry for my slow typing. Equals. Stop it. 12 times 60 was 720. Not 7320. 720 units per minute. Times 12 minutes. Wait a second. Oh, I screwed up. Alright. 2 units per second. Not 12 units per second. That would be way too much power. Hold on. So 2 units per second times 60 would be 120. That is much closer to what I was thinking. Okay. because I had this written, I had this out in my head, but then now I'm trying to write it down so I don't forget it. So 120 units per minute times 12 minutes is 1440 power, which is actually really close to. That's actually exactly what my base produces. My base produces 1440 power, so that's actually like a decent number that you can get in the game. So that's 1440 power, but my base produces that much per second. So, times 12 minutes. That's actually less power per second. That's actually less efficient. Times 12 minutes equals 1,440 power. I don't want to up it to like 13 or 14 minutes, although that's actually not a bad idea. So the thing is that medium everything is less efficient than small everything in Astroneer. For a net gain, let's see, power per canister. In that, not and. What? In that, not and that. I'm confused, I'm sorry. Oh, the problem with... Oh, okay. Problem with is that obviously, kind of obvious though, RTGs are better and you don't have to constantly make sure you have enough resources. Yeah. But the problem that a lot of people have with RTGs is that they're just basically like free energy. And that's okay, but like at some point that gets kind of tiresome. This will be something that would kind of answer that. And also I don't have any ideas yet, but I think I would want to like create something that would need like a low amount of power over a long period of time, which I think could be really cool. And then assuming 1330 power to produce each canister, this gives a net gain of 110 units. That's pretty small compared to the other one. Although there's a trade-off, because you could cram a whole bunch more small fuel cells. I think that's actually per canister. I think that's actually a fair trade-off. However, being able to put them on medium storage silos would be able to offset this trade-off. Maybe? What do you think? Not really easy to leave this up on the stream while I'm playing the game. But what do you think so far, James? This is just an idea in its infancy, basically. Because I think it'll be really cool to have something like this that turns it into a battery. Because honestly, at the end of the day, and any bit of power that you could use, people would have a hard time giving up RTGs. Yeah. Well, any bit of power that you could produce, RTGs can do better. However, there's a significant portion of the community that's against RTGs because of that free power aspect, and even I don't really like that free power aspect, even though I use RTGs liberally. I think it would be also cool if we created like a use case for them. I don't have any ideas what we could use, but here's my thought. Hydrogen-powered rovers, like a special rover that, I don't know, does something special, but is hydrogen-powered. Like, I think that would be pretty cool. Or some kind of special vehicle that's hydrogen-powered. Because you can essentially make electrical vehicles out of hydrogen power. And real-world hydrogen fuel cells, I think they run at about 60% efficiency, but I don't really know like how much power they produce per every little bit, per amount of hydrogen. So I really don't, and I think it also depends heavily on the fuel cell. But in order to like have a cohesive idea to give to the devs, we would need to have like a good use case. I think a good use case, well here, let me go to this thing. Potential use cases. Self-sufficient gathering stations without RTGs. Actually, let's make these a list. Do that. Some kind of electric vehicle powered by hydrogen. Needed to add a gas giant planet for then you can use those flying flimps. Well, not really sure that that's gonna happen. But I know that a lot of the people are stuck in their ways. But I think this could be a really interesting potential use case. And the dev team should just hire me, you know. I've already just dissected their game to no end. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it'd be so neat. Well, let's be honest, any new planet would be really neat, but at the end of the day, let's say they added a new planet. I'm gonna turn off display capture for now. I'm gonna turn off display capture just because, yeah. It would be neat, but let's be honest. After a while, people would be done with exploring it. So a planet is a huge, huge amount of work for a tiny short-term return. Like, a lot of people will be super stoked, and everybody would be exploring the new planet, and then in just less than a month, the new planet will be like, oh, it's another planet, alright. Everybody's already gone to this planet, and then people will be hating on the planet, because they've already gone to the planet, and literally everybody has been, oh, exploring the new planet, and exploiting it for content, and then everybody will be sick of the planet, basically. So, I understand fully why the devs are, like, really reluctant to add a planet. I don't necessarily know if that's enough of a reason to say that they're destroying it. Is that what all the updates do? Not necessarily, because the updates always add some kind of usefulness. In order to add a planet, you'd need to have one specific need that would really be met with this. And there's not really a need for, like, a gas giant here. There's not really a use for a gas giant. There's not... Because as much as this game is about exploring, you really can't get a fully exploring game without something that's infinitely generating like Minecraft or No Man's Sky. With pre-designed planets, exploration is really only just the first part of the game. Can't have the infinite exploration that everyone always wants. So while I completely say I think a new planet would be ridiculously cool, I also understand where the devs are coming from and saying not really a whole lot of point to adding a new planet because it's a ton of work for not a lot of payoff. The other updates that they've added, like the VTOL and stuff, like they were new for a bit and the newness wore off, but they weren't necessarily like as huge an amount of work as an entirely new planet is for the devs. Does that make sense? Because as much as like me as a hello Safe Scissors, how are you doing? As much as me as an Astroneer player would love certain things, I also try my best to see every single side of an issue. Novus was added and people didn't get tired of that either. I'm so tired of Novus that I have the entire Novus project going, alright? But Novus was added way back in 1.0. I'm not really sure how well that applies. But how's it going, Safe Scissors? We were just discussing a potential update idea that I had, a potential, like, addition to the game. And my frame rate is dropping like crazy for right now, I don't know why. And here we go. So yeah, we're working on the Novus project, having some little roundtable discussions. Same old slingshotting. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, I've got the rocket rovers down to a science. There's not really a whole ton to discover with rocket rovers and slingshotting and all that anymore. Although I am kind of curious. I don't think anybody's ever just, like, taken a single, taking like a rocket rover or something out as far as it would go. That would take like hours, but kind of want to see if is there a limit. You know, the famous "let's game it out" question: is there a limit? All the other planets were in the original game roughly the same form. Novus is the only new planet added at any point since launch. Yeah, well, if you count 1.0 as launch, then that wouldn't be the case. But yeah, but Novus is the only newish planet. However, all the planets did get a revamp with Terrain 2.0 coming out, and that was with 1.0's release. So all the planets did get a revamp. Now, I have no idea what the devs have roadmapped in the extra live stream because I was not able to be there. I also have not seen any type of content regarding it. I know Brandon released a game on it, released a video on it, and I have yet to watch that. But I don't know. I think the fuel cell idea would be kind of interesting. Because it matches real life as well, and that's kind of a nice little element of realism that you like to add into every single game. The devs have added into games like this with like the chemistry lab, and just realistic enough, and it's just futuristic enough to be something that we could do sci-fi, because it's just barely like out of reach right now. Hydrogen fuel cells are currently a thing. They're not widely used outside of space exploration, so it might be something interesting. However, I think we might need to up the output slightly of the we might need to up the output slightly for the small fuel cell. Oh, it needed a second switch out. Ah, man. I had an idea where you could grab something called the Galactic Enhancement Module, put it on your ship, and you go to geometric thing of the planet you want to go to, and it takes duplicate of the planet with a couple trains just to grab more materials. However, it takes half a canister of hydrogen to go. What? That's very confusing. Advocating for an asteroid belt, that at least seems feasible, less amount of work necessary, and wouldn't likely break your computer's GPU space. How would you propose getting that working, James? I'm not really sure the Galactic Enhancement Module... I'm not really sure that makes sense or is logical within the game's internal logic, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I obviously don't know enough about it to say anything. But it just doesn't strike me... It strikes me as a really strange idea. So here's my idea. Let me pop it up on the screen. So here's my idea. Hydrogen fuel cells. So I figured out, I've done the math, it takes about, at 100 PPU and full power, it takes 1,000 units of power to produce a full 5x canister. It takes 1,330 units of power to produce a full 5x canister at full power and 75 PPU. So, a proposed fuel cell that I was thinking we can make a hydrogen fuel cell would have to output to ensure a net positive at around 75 ppm, because I feel like that's a decent compromise. Now, we could have a medium fuel cell that would give 10 units per second for 3 minutes. 10 units per second is decent for a medium anything. So that would result in a total of 1,800 power per canister. Basically, I don't want to rip all that into solo for iron, so I'm using the duplicate to get the materials from there. Just an old idea you had. Yeah, but I mean, that was kind of answered by auto extractors. So I would say that I would consider that answered by auto extractors because they don't rip up terrain. Then assuming 1330 power to produce the fuel, so at 75 ppm, it would result in a net gain of 470 power per single little 5 thingy of hydrogen. So with I'm sorry, I just realized the display capture isn't on. Let me turn it on. There we go. So that way you can kind of see. This is my math right here. And the small fuel cell, which would be T1, it would be 2 units per second at proposed 12 minutes. Might have to go up to 14 minutes. Although let's see how would it be for 14 minutes. So with 12 minutes, it would be a total of 1440 power per canister, which would give a net gain of 110, which is kind of smaller than a fuel cell, but potentially that trade-off might be that you can put them on medium storage silos. But let's see. We're doing 120 units per minute, and then we'll do times 14 minutes, 1680. That's not bad. Let's put it for 14 minutes, since that's not terrible. So 14 minutes would be 1680 power per canister. Alright, then minus 1330, 350 units per canister. That's actually not bad. Slightly less. So the idea is this is a very small fuel cell. This is a very, it produces a small amount of power for a very long time, which is what real hydrogen fuel cells do. And so, of getting less power out of it. So yeah, that's the big idea that I had. And then actually, wait a second, hold on. An idea of potential use cases would be we could have self-sufficient gathering stations without RTGs, because I know a large portion of the community is like, RTGs are just free power, and even I realize that makes sense, but RTGs are just the best all around. So I want to create an alternative that can be made en masse, and also can be put within can also be a long-term, a steady use of power. Then we could also make some kind of electric vehicle that's powered by hydrogen, some kind of special hydrogen-only powered vehicle, and we could also put a single fuel cell onto a rover or something. And it could be maybe a mid-game type unlock. I know RTG is a late game. Yeah, we pretty much just roll with we pretty much just go from low tier power to high tier power, just straight to RTGs. I'm not sure that's great. However, I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh, the frames. Oh my gosh, the frames. So I think the idea, it has that little gem in there that makes me think that this would be something that would be really cool to add to Astroneer. It'd be a cool little wrinkle. Because right now, gases don't have a ton of use besides crafting, and obviously explosions. But they don't have a ton of use outside of crafting. So I think that would be something that we could go towards making a good in-game use for hydrogen, and for maybe potentially later on other gases. Basically, somewhere inside the solar system, there would be a ring of little asteroids. You could land on them, and they would only have maybe a 20th or a 10th of novas to solar space that have some small nodes of rarer materials, or even unique materials and hazards. Some may have new dangerous planets or pits to fall into, or use might have to be specific mining operations for certain materials. Might go to a compound asteroid and get compound for 10 times the amount in a normal node. I think that would be... It's an interesting idea. What I would say is make the asteroids have next to no gravity. That's number one. That's realistic. And number two, that introduces a really, really huge risk. A huge risk of, if you do the wrong thing, you might go floating off into space and be not really able to do anything about it. So that would be something that I would say, like, maybe have as a unique hazard. That's an inherent unique hazard for little asteroids. Then you'd have to figure out ways to make sure to attach yourself to the planet. And this is loading in so slowly. Holy cow. Alright, let's let it sit. Whoa, where did that go? That silo just... What? My silo. It went to space. Guys. I know it's a space game, but... Dang. My silo went to space. Will it ever come back? Where is it? Where on earth is my silo? Did you guys see that thing, right? You guys saw it, right? Like, that thing just went... Oh, wait. I see a thing. Is that it? What are you? Oh, you're, hello. And you? Alright then. Okay, but my silo, though. Where's my... Oh, that's annoying. Because it had hydrogen on it, too. Oh, wait, is this it? No, that's not it. That's the silo that came from... I have to fix the hydrogen count after this. Okay, that's gonna be 12, so that's enough for one. That's frustrating. Man, that's actually kind of annoying. So, I think the asteroid idea is interesting. How you'd manage to land on something though like that, because let's take Kerbal Space Program asteroids. You have to rendezvous with them. You can't just like land on an asteroid, because an asteroid has no gravity. It's just a big old rock. Well, it does have gravity, but it's negligible. An asteroid doesn't really have like gravity, so to speak, in the conventional sense. Have it so you normally dump. Normally you don't fly off. When you use thrusters, you could escape their gravity well. Also, make sure you wouldn't at least have a chance. It would at least have a chance at survival. I think that if you want to go with it, just freaking go ham on it. Make it so that if you jump, you will literally go flying. And here's why. Because if you jump and you go flying, you have to use the range to get back in the shuttle, and that also gives you an excuse to. So here's why I say it. It gives you a new item that you're gonna need. You're gonna need some method to attach yourself to the planet, so that way you can walk around without actually flying off. It gives you a new item. It gives you a new reason to go to the asteroid, because you'll need that. Potentially, you'll need that item. Did I start that up? I did. but you'll potentially need that item. So that, like, you can make, that gives you a new item, and you can, like, only get it from asteroids. That makes the first couple of asteroids trips very risky. It pisses me off that we got lost an entire silo that's partially filled with hydrogen. Unique mining vehicle or something like that. Have to be something. I'm thinking like a different form of tethers. At least a low game or an early game use would be like a different form of tethers. And maybe it could be unlocked by a mission by like going to the asteroids. But it would have to be just like a different, and then you could maybe have a unique mining vehicle. Hey, why not a unique mining vehicle powered by hydrogen? And let's say that because those asteroids are airless, which is actually... So here's the thing. Asteroids are airless, right? And in order to radiate heat, you need to have some sort of air. Which is why RTGs are not on spacecraft. They're on, maybe in a form of winch. It could be something like that you would attach to the player and would nail you to the planet. But the idea is because you need air to radiate away heat, and RTGs utilize heat heavily. An RTG outside of an atmosphere could potentially overheat. So that would be a way to say, hey, you can't use RTGs here because they'll overheat because they're outside they don't have an atmosphere. And then that could be a good excuse for using hydrogen fuel cells and using a hydrogen fuel cell powered vehicle. What do you think of that? All of that follows logic, and it also adds a wrinkle of difficulty, and it also adds a new interesting way to run things. Maybe it's not too big of an idea. What do you think of that? Thing for sure? Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. I don't know if the devs... let's be real, the devs are probably never gonna listen to me. They don't usually. Stop it. You're annoying. I'm gonna take you, put you on there for now. I don't want you flying off. Alright, so we should have enough to finish off this bomb, and we're supposed to have enough to do the quarter of another bomb. I'm gonna have to just take some hydrogen from Visania, and I'm just gonna have... Actually, I'm gonna have to take it to Visania and make sure... Get it all together. Metal and such can still retain heat, that's why the moon has moonquakes due to rapid temperature changes. Yeah, that's exactly the problem. Metal cannot radiate heat without something to radiate the heat into. So an RTG would glow red hot and then eventually explode. And that definitely be an interesting wrinkle. So the idea is the RTGs, they would overheat and explode because they have no way to radiate out the heat that they normally radiate. These RTGs, they're a major source of heat. That's how they produce power. They don't just produce power out of nothing, they produce power out of, radioisotopes decaying, and that means that they end up making a lot of extra power that they originally you didn't start out with. Wouldn't it just heat up the spaceship, though? That's also a thought. But let's say that it would, that the RTG would start up... Well, let's say that the RTG would just act like a piece of TNT if it's attached to a spaceship, or if it catches a spaceship in the blast radius, then, whatever it catches in the blast radius are destroyed. Basically turns into a piece of TNT effectively. And it's a time bomb, you can't really do anything about it, you just have to get rid of it. I know after taking an RTG, and that would actually make it... That would mean that QT RTGs couldn't come either. So far we've used them, theoretically, in all the places that we've used them as far as the game canon lore is concerned. As far as, the game's internal logic is concerned. The only places we've used QT RTGs so far is land. not... We kind of break DeSolo. DeSolo has a little bit of an atmosphere, though. Because if I go into the Astropedia, DeSolo, it says it has no atmosphere, but it has low wind. And you can see clearly that there is an atmosphere. So really it would be just like low to negligible atmosphere. But it does have wind. So they would have to fix the no atmosphere description because it doesn't actually have no atmosphere. But that's just a quick little fix in the thing. It's already fixed in the game. It's just an inconsistency in the Astropedia, and it's already an inconsistency. It's never really any not really anything new that would have to be added, but it would have to be fixed. But if they added like an element of heating to the RTGs, then RTGs might like start to overheat if they get to DeSolo, but then that could arguably make a whole element of heating and cooling that needs to be added to the game, which could be really tedious. But I think it would be just simpler to have them just, whenever they go to an asteroid, they overheat after a certain timer goes off. Like, they're like a time bomb, and after a certain amount of time passes by, then they just overheat and explode. They just turn red and explode. Regardless of what you, what's actually going on in the game. Might need radiators for which you need parts from Glacio. Well, just because Glacio is cold doesn't necessarily mean that pieces from it are going to be essentially cold. But I don't think necessarily introducing an entire new mechanic of heat into the game is a wise idea. I don't think that's going to go over well with the devs. Would be interesting, but not something that I would think that we would want to have the devs introduce into the game. I don't think that would be something they would be like really interested in. Because adding an entire new mechanic, as opposed to what the hydrogen fuel cell is it's building on and expanding mechanics that are already in the game. It's not adding an entirely new mechanic. It's adding a new way to use the stuff that's already there. It's not adding new stuff to use. Because if you think about it, heat-based stuff, you're gonna have to think about rocket engines. You're gonna have to think about rethink literally every item and think, okay, how is the heat system going to apply to this? If you're gonna do it well, you're gonna need to apply it to every single item, and that's a lot of extra work. That would have to be a really major update, introducing a heat system. Introducing a heat system is a decent idea, but just having like a set in-game timer that says, oh, hey, this is a set event. If you detect an RTG is on an asteroid, then it automatically just hits a timer internally that says, I'm gonna explode in, say, 2 minutes. And have the model slowly turn redder and redder and redder and kind of glow. It's like a tether. Have it output as much light as a tether and then have it just glow. That would be without needing to introduce a heat system. That would be a decent compromise. You know what I mean? Oh god. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna bring it over and fill it up. We're gonna take this over to Vitania, and we're gonna fill it up because missing hydrogen and we want it to be running correctly. Okay. How are we gonna run this? I'm gonna take... No, you don't. Uh-uh. Alright, you're going here, you're going here. You're going here. You're going here. Alright, we're gonna take you, place you on here. Where is a button repeater? I need a button repeater. I have one or two lying around. Button repeater. Yeah, I think the idea of a hydrogen fuel cell definitely an interesting concept. You guys are all full. Oh boy. Alright, well we're gonna just gonna borrow you for a bit. Alright, that'll just take him a little bit to fill it up. Wait a second. Ah, come on, there we go. I've asked Joe if a randomizer of sorts would work for Astroneer, said the team had been testing that but didn't end up working out, so it's a neat little tidbit. Interesting. I'm not sure what you mean by a randomizer. One could definitely make a randomizer from parts already available. But I'm not really sure what kind of randomizer you'd be looking for. Place you on there. Alright. Now we're back to being good. And there we go. Like in terms of which planet spawn? Ah. I mean like a random generator. Yeah, well so the thing with a random generating planets takes a game that's built from the ground up having to do that. In order to really effectively introduce something like that, they would have to rebuild the game from the ground up. And so, I understand why that didn't work out for them. Yeah, there's a reason why games that don't start with randomizers don't end up with randomizers after a certain period of time. You know, they just don't ever end up having randomizers because you need to build the game from the ground up with how it deals with generating things. Okay. I think these extra bits of TNT and bits of packagers, I think they're creating some lag. I'm not really happy with them. But anyway, let's see. Let's do a let's do a backup. Duplicate. D4 big boom number 38. Alright, confirm. Enter. Confirm. Let it freeze for a second, and wait. And it's unfrozen, and we're just gonna freeze now. Then unfreeze, and then it's gonna go here. It's actually gonna go up top. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Yeah, like a system with 4 Desolos and 1 Glacio, for example. Not completely unique planets a la No Man's Sky. Yeah. That's something that you could possibly do with a mod. Doing it with the game would be kind of strange, though. Because, James, I don't know if you know how the planets are laid out, but they're laid out physically within the actual real game space. You know, they're laid out in a line. So messing with that line messes with like how the shuttle works. So that messes with a couple of fundamental things that you may not necessarily think of that would break. For now, though, I'm gonna go on break because I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back in a little bit. But yeah, please feel free to take a restroom break with me. I'll be back in about like maybe between 3 to 5 minutes, and I will see you guys on the other side, and we will get to the detonation mode of the stream. So I will see you guys on the other side. Alright, I have returned. Holy mic noise. Big. Alright. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys had a good break. I got myself some different oranges. Nice little bit of fruit. Yeah, we should be good to do detonation rounds. The actual explosions, which are the fun part. I'm gonna grab a dynamite. Gonna grab the first bomb, see how the first bomb goes. Alright, let's see, where do we want to put this thing? Let's see. This entire little section over here is a little bit far out. Let's see if we can't get some spikes over here. This is a big old spike right here. Looks like it's even a spike of glitched out terrain. No, it's not. It's just a spike of ordinary terrain. With a bit of lag. A bit of lag debris out there. Ah! I'm falling. Uh-oh. Oh. This is James. Welcome back to the stream, James. Moving this carefully. Okay, there we go. Alright. Oh, hello. That just loaded in right there. Alright. Dynamite right here, and run! Run, 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 run. That might not actually get the entire thing. Looks good, though. Oh, I did not get the entire thing. I was kind of afraid of that. That's okay, we've got TNT. Oh, wow, that was interesting. Alright, let's grab the, I'm gonna just drill a hole into this thing. And come back with a silo of TNT. Blow this thing sky high. We've got a whole bunch of silos of TNT to spare. All from the event. Helping it be over our cap. Yeah, I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were. Missed the chance when I was over the biggest gap of all. It did massively confuse me for a second. Because it inverts the way your mouse moves too. So it really screws with you. Ah! Alright, I'm gonna take a silo of this TNT. Which is causing lag. Do two things at once. Get rid of lag and also get rid of extra terrain. Man, it's a long flight over there. Even with the hoverboard and the extra speed that it gives. Hoverboard really gives a lot of extra speed, which is really helpful. But it's not perfect. This is probably not going to do everything, but it's definitely going to help. Let's see what this does. Ooh, that was nice. Got rid of the vast majority of it. The rest of it I can get by hand. I was also thinking, since I have a good factory, I'm gonna try to do some of this stream. I'm gonna try to go grab as many seeds as I possibly can, like as many pumpkin seeds as I possibly can, because I want to run. I'm thinking about possibly running the Novus project off of Squasholine for a little bit, because Squasholine is much more efficient to produce than hydrogen is, actually. Simply because it stores, you know, each hydrogen stores in 5s, but each Squasholine stores in 1s. So not only is it way faster on the output, it's also way more efficient in storage. So I need to go get a whole bunch of extra seeds. Taking the dirt by hand by like a common astroneer. I know. Sad. Yeah, I think the asteroid idea. Neat idea. I think it could also, combined with the fuel cell idea, could also give it a use case. Solar could obviously work over there. But maybe there could be like a mission that hints towards using a fuel cell over there. But you want to create a use case for something that's very specific to it. You know, you can't just create a use case that, you know, you can't, well, anything that would require, like, only a little bit of power over a long period of time, people would just put a battery on it, like a rover. You know, one of the smaller rovers. And that's also kind of ignoring the fact that we really have a ton of power sources in the game right now. Not a ton of ways to use power. But I think a hydrogen-powered vehicle will be interesting. Discover the secrets of hydrogen fuel cell in the core of a nickel asteroid. Now you're talking about adding like entire new materials. Adding entire new materials, I'm not sure if the devs could actually do that. Remember, they haven't added a new material to Astroneer for a very, very long time. See. Nickel will be using for building extra large structures due to its strength. I think that changing the recipes again is a good way to piss the community off. I'll tell you that. When they changed the recipes for the with the exo chip update, people were really not happy. I mean, it was compounded by the fact that exo chips are really not farmable, except in the events, and the events actually give you way more exo chips than you need. But that really annoyed a large portion of the community. So I doubt they would want to just do that again. You know, Detonate. Yeah, that was a nice big boom. Alright, wait for the lag to clear up. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's the lag. There it is. You can almost feel the game breathe a sigh of relief when it does all that. Oh, the exocache was in the middle of the biggest explosion, like, ever, and still didn't blow up. Logic. Yeah, I'm talking about, when I say they haven't added a new resource in a while, I'm talking about like a mineable resource that spawns on planets and stuff. Exochips don't really fit that category. They are they're basically just artificial buffer to artificially pad out the game. They don't really serve a huge purpose. They're also not, like, terribly useful. Yeah, changing the recipes and stuff has historically not worked very well for the devs. So I have a can of Mandarin oranges, right? Put it on top of my computer and I picked it up and was like, wait, why is it sticking to my computer? Because it's magnetic. Note the extra X in front of the extra large structures. Basically, they'd add another for large-scale mining facilities, like a building you could walk around in, customize like a home or a satellite that monitors weather throughout the planet. That's a huge, huge addition. Now, of course, I can't know everything, but I'll tell you right now, I don't think that the devs are going to be the most open to listening to new ideas of adding huge new things. Again, the ideas that I'm trying to figure out are ideas to do new stuff with the things that I've already got. Not like adding a new tier, adding a new planet. None of those are really going to be... as far as I know, unless, I mean, like, if there's a dev in here, they can correct me, but I don't think that they're gonna necessarily, like, if I was in their shoes, what I would say is, okay, we'll definitely put that under consideration, and we'll put it in, like, a, oh, hello, old bomb, that I cannot reach, which is really sad. I would say, okay, well, we'll put it on the board, and they'll put it on, like, the Trello or something that they use internally for a list of ideas to put in the game. And then that would probably be mostly the end of it. Because, you know, they have their own plans for the game. As much as the community is supportive of it, the community is also not owed adding particular ideas, you know? Like, sure, if it wasn't for the community, the game would never have sold anything, and it wouldn't have been possible for them to do what they can do. But also, that doesn't just give the community the right to just say, hey, we want this, we want that, the other thing, demand everything from these guys, you know? Interesting, a shattered... This used to be a bomb. You know, this now has become a shattered shelter. Used to be a bomb. Kind of oh, come on, stop it. Kind of a fun little happenstance. That's too far back. That's definitely not going to get where I need it to get. Alright, we're gonna need to move this thing probably right here. Yeah, I'm not really sure that they would be a fan of adding an entire other tier. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad idea, but like, there's a lot of... Oh, come on. I did not let go of right mouse button. You had no business of getting rid of that bit of UI. Oh boy. Ooh, that was big. Uh-oh. And get rid of all that lag that was spiking. Oh, hello. Look at this. Look at what we have here. I wonder if I touch it, is anything gonna happen? Can I touch you? Oh. Things happened. Yeah. No, get out of my inventory. Yeah, I honestly, I don't think that there's really a huge, like, huge use case scenario for an extra large tier without adding a whole bunch of extra new stuff to the game. And like, a satellite that monitors weather, but there's no weather to monitor. You know? Large-scale mining facilities, okay, but you don't really need large-scale mining facilities. There's no in-game reason to have large-scale mining facilities, because there's no large-scale resource suck. Not without some in-game project. In Satisfactory, you go large-scale because you have to. In this game, you only go large-scale if you really, 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 really want to. You know? There's no in-game reason to go large scale. I think that a base that you could really actually walk around in is a cool idea, but there's not really any justification for adding something like that. I'm just over here playing devil's advocate. Just because I'm doing it doesn't necessarily mean I don't like the idea. I'm just trying to think of every possible side, you know? Oh, there we go. Here we go. I do think that the hydrogen fuel cell idea, because it follows the rule of let's just find something new to do with what we already have, instead of let's just add something entirely new to the game. I think that gives it a little bit of extra merit. And again, I don't really know. But in order for me to be personally happy with, like, saying, hey, I want to submit this to the devs and see what the devs think about it and talk to the devs about it, before I do that, I want to start thinking of, okay, what's the use case scenario? Why, plausibly in the game, would I want to make this thing? The initial why that I have so far is we don't really have a power source that... Hello. We don't really have a power source that takes a... that works with low output over a long period of time. That's low and steady. We don't have anything like that. However, we also don't have anything. We also have like we also have the QTRTGs and the RTGs. So there would have to be a reason why RTGs or something like solar couldn't be used. Now the asteroids could add a neat little wrinkle that would allow us to disallow RTGs in the game and still make sense, like an in-game universe perspective. But maybe we just imagine the community's reaction to the next update is just based on a new power source when they already got bigger turbines and solar panels this year. Exactly. That's the biggest problem with that idea, is that we don't really have like a use case. There has to be some kind of new wrinkle that it brings to it. Asteroids isn't a half bad idea. I'm just trying to find a use case that we can generate with very little with you know, a neat idea that we can add with, you know, minimal effort on the part of the devs. Not saying that the devs want to put in minimal effort, but we want to try to save the devs work and, you know, make the ideas as cool as possible and as feasible as possible. We don't want to give the devs a non-feasible idea. Oh, glitched out terrain. Does feel like you need something else to make it worth it. Yeah. There we go. Oh, come on, stop it. I think it's a really, really nifty germ of an idea. Oh, come on. I think it's a really nifty germ of an idea. I don't think that it's complete enough to really start something. Reskinning every planet in terms of color would be neat. Yeah, but why would we do that? Oh, come on. I killed myself. No. I was too close. I was too close to the sun, Icarus. Alright, let's let it load in. Stop lagging. There we go. Another setting you could get. Yeah. That also kind of takes away some of the realism aspects, because you can't just, like, control the planets normally. That just feels like... Oh, let me just get a filter for my eyes, you know? Something about that just doesn't feel right. I hope you understand what I mean. Alright, let's go over. And we're gonna drop for a fair bit because we're really low down. Did we fall into the core? I think we fell into the core. Can't remember the soil analyzer. The soil analyzer. Oh, you mean the soil, like the painter? Terrain analyzer? There's a case to be made for that, but also that's not the same as like reskinning the entire planet. Where is my backpack? And why don't I see the beacon for it? Oh, there it is. I think I need to access it from the other side. Okay. I'm gonna place that over there. Yoink, yoink. Yoink, yoink. And there we go. Alright, that is everything. Leave this down here. Actually, no, I'm not. Okay. Get me out of here. It just be on a larger scale and uneditable after you spawn in. Yeah. Just doesn't quite feel right. I'm not entirely able to quantify why. And it doesn't mean that it's not a good idea. Something doesn't feel right about it. Just like something doesn't quite feel right about the hydrogen fuel cell. It's definitely an interesting idea. It's just not really sure why I got off my hoverboard there. It's just lacking a why. That right now the why is the same as the why for the hydrogen fuel cell, which is it's cool. And like, okay, great. That doesn't really do a whole lot though. A smaller portion of the reason why for a hydrogen fuel cell is because it adds realism. And realism is always a nice thing to add in the games, to an extent. You know, you obviously don't want to completely overdo it. Alright, let's grab you. Go over here and grab 4 fuel. All the fuel depots, this is the one that I have to refuel the most. Because we use up a lot of fuel from it. Alright. Let's use up this next bomb. Let's try to not do that again, shall we? A lot of stuff like that game is kind of, or like, why do you need a medium shuttle and rover if it's almost as easy to get a large shuttle and rover? Medium shuttle and rover are almost never used. I think it would be cool if they added some kind of wrinkle that would give them a purpose to the game, but I don't think we need to be adding more stuff like that. You know, I don't think the game needs more stuff that's just kind of cool. The game needs reasons for why it's doing things, because the game already has way too much stuff that has no real reason for being there, except it's just kind of cool. The game doesn't give you any reason to fully explore the tech tree. That's not even necessary to complete the game. Necessary to 100% complete it, but 0 people go for 100% completion nowadays, essentially. So, for instance, I'm gonna look on Steam real fast. Steam. As far as my achievements, let me look at the achievement. So we have, let's see. Let's look at the Solar System Mastery. I can't really see what the planet is. Alright, here we go. So, for the obtain every achievement in Astroneer, there is 1.5% of players have this achievement. So the people who just go above and beyond, and even then, you really don't need to like unlock everything. You need to unlock everything, but you don't really like need to just use everything to get that. So 1.5%, according to Steam, are completionists, and 100% complete the game. Even then, that's still not that still doesn't give you a reason to use a bunch of the stuff. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I managed to be far enough away. That is a lot of stuff. Please all despawn. Yay! Okay, good, you are despawning, alright. Really sure. I kind of want to I'm just gonna get rid of this with my tool. Yeah, we don't really... I feel like we don't really need more stuff in this game that doesn't really have a justification. I feel like already too much of this stuff in this game has no justification. Other than, well, we thought it'd be fun. Arguably, the entire game is that. Because the entire game is for fun. You wouldn't know it from listening to some of the people who really take everything way too seriously, though. Ah! Ow. We gotta at least be honest. The game is just for fun. But at some point it is more fun when certain things have a logical, in-universe reason. Does that necessarily mean that I can think of a reason off the top of my head? No, but I am gonna, like, you know, kind of put my subconscious to work on it and start to think of, like, hey, why would we want to have something like this in the game? What need could we fill that maybe the community doesn't even know it has right now? The asteroids idea I do like. I have one final idea. A little robot that would need exo-chips and Astroneer to make and collect resources for you that you couldn't get because they have a special scanner. Those resources will be used to build custom bases, etc. Again, I like the idea, but once again, it's a huge addition. Custom, that's not just adding a little robot, that's adding custom bases. And adding custom bases is massive. Customization options, I know from talking to a whole bunch of devs of a whole bunch of different games, they're very difficult to add to a game. They're one of the more difficult things to add to a game. Why not everything is customizable in a lot of games? So rather, instead of like giving you Skyrim type sliders, they just give you every new player would build them for these custom bases just as completionist would. But yeah, the custom bases is a really good idea. It's a huge idea. This is not necessarily saying that any of this is like a terrible idea. It's just that all of them are really big ideas or don't really have an in-universe, reason for existing. Like, okay, why would you go to the asteroids? to get this custom resource. Okay, well, why do you need the custom resource? Okay. Well, let's say to build extra large bases, it starts to compound itself really, really fast. You can't just add too much to a game at once, you know, you have to temper things. You can't just add like a billion features all at once. And that's what you're thinking, like having interdependent features that are all, they would basically all have to be added at once, or none of them would really make any sense or be really that fun to play around with. Like a little robot itself wouldn't be really super fun to play around with without the custom bases. Like there's no real reason for him to exist. I think the snails are going to be a really, really fun, really super cute and really fun idea. And I think they might open the way to making more types of changes that the community would like better. Like say if you want to farm up a whole bunch of snails. You know. Let's say, what if you made it so that snails were hurt by radiation? Well, that really puts RTGs way out of the way, because if snails get hurt by radiation, obviously the players don't because they're protected by spacesuits, but if snails get hurt by radiation, then you can't just have an RPG near the snails, so if you want to have a base, you're gonna need wind or solar, or what if the snails can't, like, exist too much in the sun, and they can't, like, exist in too high wind, and you start to create needs for different wrinkles in the game. So, and again, we don't really know entirely what's going on, but you could always pipe power in from outside. But it's not, you know, it's not a really... it's hard to think of an idea that that's really gonna work well, and that also is decently simple to to put into the game, and that also wouldn't be so interdependent with future features. Like, you can't have stuff that's interdependent with features that you haven't added yet. That's just not gonna fly. No, you need to have... It needs to be working well with the features that are already in the game. Now, how the Minecraft developers have handled the Caves and Cliffs update is actually a really good example, because while they had to put off Caves and Cliffs update part 2, which is actually coming out on November 30th, which is just a few days, which is really, really cool. The devs really could end up, you know, they put out the Caves and Cliffs update part 1, but they've still made those blocks, like, available to people, and still, like, tied them into the game. You know, that whatever you add needs to be tied into the game, and, like, there needs to be a reason to get it. Now, should they copy the Minecraft devs? Probably not, but follow their example, maybe. Nothing gets added without a reason, and, you know, there are certain things that the community wants that the developers have put a hard no on, which is sad, but at the end of the day, it is their game. Why are you even existing? I don't even have a reason for existing. You. Player customization, one of the most important features of the game? Not really. Player customization is... You can customize the player character, but you can't necessarily, like, customize a ton about, like, the world around the player character. Wow, that was a big old explosion. Like, you can't have custom sliders for planets and stuff. Astroneer is at its heart just like a sandbox game, where you can do stuff to the environment around you, but you can't necessarily, like, customize what you start out with. Now, they've added a whole bunch of places for, like, player character customizations, which was good, but that's not the core of the game. That's just external stuff. The game would still be playable without it, and was for a very long time. So you judge what's an important feature or not based on, would the game be playable without this? If the answer is yes, then it's not one of the most important features of the game. If the answer is no, then it is one of the most important features of the game. For instance, the terrain tools, excellent example. Terrain tool is probably one of the most important features of the game. Without this game, without the terrain tool, this game would not be the same. If you need any evidence, just look for those terrain tool-less runs that people do, the terrain tool-less playthroughs that people will do. Drastically changes how the game works and makes it way more difficult. The point where not everyone can play it. You know? That's my standard for is something one of the most important features in the game. Terrain tool customizes the terrain though, pretty sure that's even on the Steam page. It doesn't really customize it, it modifies it. Customizing it, like the customization that you and I are talking about is, okay, let's modify what we have to start with. Terrain tool doesn't modify what we have to start with. The terrain tool will change the terrain, but it doesn't change what we start with. Changing what we start with would be what you talked about with, like, full-on color customization of the planets. Which is a cool idea, but something that's kind of a pain to put in. Alright, where are we gonna put this guy? Bit of an outcropping right here, I think. Put it right here. Last bomb of the day. Oh, hello. How are we looking? I think I want to place it like right about here. Not down there. Gonna make sure that we reach all the important areas. I'm gonna bump it up over here. Oh, that was a nice explosion. Maybe when the devs start Astroneer 2, if that isn't already in the works, be able to do a few more things they couldn't in this game. I don't think Astroneer 2 is in the works because they're working on this game. I don't really see a need for a sequel to this game. I think they do either. More planets would be great. It's just hard to do and has very little results. You create a lot of hype in the community, but then then you have to balance every planet. You know, these planets are balanced well. They're developed well. They've gone through all the processes of playtesting. The other ones, new ones really would have to go through that same process that these planets did. Novus is basically just a reskin to Solo, so it kind of went through the process on its own with the Solo. So they'll have to move on, whether in 1 year or 5 years. Yeah. Move on to other things. But that doesn't mean they can't necessarily keep this one up and running and doing updates. Kerbal Space Program's still doing updates. They are working on a KSP2, but they're still doing updates to the original main game. That's something that's really amazing. But yeah, I think this is a good discussion. I appreciate your perspectives and everything. Stuffed updates on KSP1? Not from what I heard. From what I heard, they're going to continue doing updates for the foreseeable future because there's a separate team working on KSP1 and KSP2. So the separate team working on KSP1 is just going to continue doing updates on KSP1, and KSP2 is going to grow separately. Alright, let's see what it looks like today. Why the last update was called the Final Frontier? Not necessarily. Not from what I've heard. From what I've heard, they're still going to continue updating KSP1. I could be wrong, but what I've heard is that they're gonna keep doing updates to it. I'm gonna land here. See if I think this might be in midair. No, it's not in midair yet. Dang it. So close. So close. That team has been shifted to KSP2. Again, not what I heard. I have heard something that's definitively different from the devs. I could be incorrect. My information could be dated. That's what I have heard. Oh, this base is super laggy. We're gonna have to fix this base. I don't know necessarily. I'll probably look it up. But yeah, as far as I've heard, KSP1 is still gonna have updates, but I could be wrong. I haven't been super connected to the KSP community in a while, so we'll have to see. Because the people who bought KSP2 didn't buy KSP1. They only bought KSP2. So, yeah, I think I'm probably going to gonna call it here. And I think we're gonna get going. I don't really think that we have enough viewers to raid, so James, I really appreciate you dropping by. But I think we're just gonna call the stream here, and I'm getting pretty tired. And yeah, thanks everybody who tuned in during the duration of the stream, and I hope to see you guys next stream, which I'm gonna try to stream again on either tomorrow or the day after. No wait, tomorrow is Saturday. I'm gonna try to stream again tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna be streaming Astroneer. We're probably gonna be streaming something else. Could be Left Trousers. It could be what was the other game that I have? Could be Left Trousers. It could be. We haven't touched Dyson Sphere Program in a while. We could touch Dyson Sphere Program. Could be Nimbatus, which I enjoy. Another game that just came out on the Epic Games Store is... I'll check out that link when we're done with stream. Have a good night, too. Another one that I just got is a... let's see... Let me check, let me look at the store. It's free on Epic Games Store right now, but it's something called Never Alone, and it looks really adorable. So, alright. Well, I will see you guys later on, and thank you very much, James, for all the support and stopping by. I really appreciate the, the dedicated viewership, and it was really nice to kind of ping ideas back and forth. I really think your ideas are good. Both your ideas and my ideas are incomplete, but we'll work on completing them, we'll work on completing them together. And we'll both start thinking of, like, okay, why would we add this to the game, Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thanks a bunch.